Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel for the final episode of this year's diet, the reveal, the penultimate episode. We woke up today at 81.7 kilos, 0.6 up from my lowest weight of 81.1, which equaled 16 kilos off in 11 weeks. Now this is very, very aggressive. Something I wouldn't advise most people to do, but it was something that I needed to do. The reason for that was because of the injury that I did have and the amount of body weight that I was at. I knew I needed to get down to about this weight. So when I did up my calculations, I knew I needed to pull off that amount of weight. So I needed to be a bit aggressive, put the foot to the pedal. But to be honest, I actually enjoyed it. You know, I enjoy dieting. I enjoy the feeling of being a little more alert, a little more healthy in myself. But definitely looking forward to a little bit more food now, which I've been able to do for this week itself. Majority of the week, macros have been here. But today is going to be a little bit different. Tomorrow I have my photo shoot, which I'm really looking forward to. And this is going to be the what, the why, and the how, the changes that I make the day before, one day out, to be able to produce the best physique possible tomorrow. So let me bring you along today. I'll show you what my macros are going to be for today at the end and why we're doing that. Any change to electrolytes or water or anything like that. And we'll get cracking. Okay, so we are in for meal one, which is going to be 4 eggs. This is an egg. I did an awful job at cracking into the pan. Always have a problem there. 4 eggs, 4 whole eggs, and we have 2 bagels with the usual pink salt and light salt in here. And then it's going to be 1 kiwi as well. So one thing that you're going to see today is just a little bit less fiber in my diet. And the reason for that is because of gut volume. We use fiber in the dieting phase to make us feel really full and for our stomach to feel really full. But in a photo shoot, you want your stomach to be really tight and as small as possible. So we're going to reduce usual fiber intake by about 50%. The easiest way for me to do that is just, if I'm doing 100 grams of berries, which is going to be in meal 2, I'll just do 50. Or if I do 150 grams of mixed veg, I'll just do 75. So key and tip number 1 and change today comparatively to any other day is going to be 50% of fiber going in today. And by the way, guys, you guys know I'm a massive egg fan, my favorite food in the world. Go and get some nice eggs. You know, spend an extra $1 if you can, $1 or euro, whatever, wherever that you're watching, on some really, really nice eggs. These lovely organic eggs, the orange and the yolk, too nice. Worth it every single time. Okay, so we are in for meal number 2, which is going to be 170 grams of oats, 50 grams of berries, 40 grams of whey. And the main tip for today is going to be around digestibility. These are foods, particularly oats, that digest really, really well for me. Doesn't stick in my stomach. I never feel bloated after. And there's no fats in this meal. And that's going to come in our final meal for tip number 4 or 5 or something as a secret tip at the very, very end. Okay, so meal 2 going in. No, I don't eat it out of the jar. Stick into a little bowl, and I'm going to place all the macros on screen now. Okay, so really good day of work done in terms of check-ins and have my 2 first meals down. I believe 2, yes. Next one is going to be just a little snack. It's literally just going to be a bagel with a little bit of flora light spread on it. Nothing too crazy. For anyone who is in Sydney, Melbourne, Australia, I'm sure that they do them everywhere. These Savion cakes and bagels, let me just get up to the camera. This brand here in Coles and Woolies, oh my goodness, best bagels I've ever had. And I've had quite a few bagels in my time. Really easy, simple meal for me. A little snack, about an hour and a half, an hour to work out itself. The tip for this one is going to be, on peak week, you should be eating all the foods that you've been eating pretty much through the whole majority of your dieting phase. It's not the time to go, oh, you know, I'm feeling good, I'm going to start having Cocoa Pops and, you know, jam and donuts and all this kind of stuff, you know. Eat foods that you know really work well for you, but particularly test them out earlier in the week. From day 1 of this peak week, I've put bagels in. They digested really, really well, which is great. Therefore, I'm going to utilize them throughout the end of the day. If something digested well, you know, 6 months ago, it may not digest well right now. So try it early on the week, and then you know what foods really work well for you and which doesn't. But enjoy this, off to training, and then in for meal number 4, post-workout meal. Okay, so we're into the final session of the day, the last one of this lower D volume before shoot tomorrow. We're going to run one working set here on the Cybex leg press. The other Arsenal leg press you guys have seen is the one that's just behind you guys right now. So a little bit more of a mid to short range challenge. The length and range challenge in the Arsenal leg press is fantastic. This is really, really nice too. I'm starting to get to grips back with this one after a little bit of a lower back tweak. As you guys know, been in the injuries this last couple of months, 6 months or so. So trying to find my way with foot position, range of motion, knee position as well. So we're just going to have a crack at this, you know, not looking for any specific rep range, good quality, effective reps. Let's get at it. Okay. 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah. Fuck. Without doubt, the best part about finishing legs, taking these sleeves off. Okay, we are finished with a workout. Let's get back to post-workout nutrition. We have 3 calls, a haircut, another call, all to fit in around. Busy day today. Let's get at it. Okay guys, so we are back for meal number, we're going to call it meal 4 because we had that snack of a bagel. I think you can maybe see George eating over in the corner. We like to eat together. This is going to be a strange meal now. Okay, hear me out. Chicken, 50 grams of rice and 375 grams of white potato with like 50 grams of veg, just raw red onion and red peppers. Very, very small amount of veg and half a bagel. Why are you eating rice and potato together? Usually this meal is 750 grams of white potato and I have the same again at meal 5, let's call it. That's a lot of food, a lot of gut volume. So what we like to do here is half of that, so 375 grams, and the other carbohydrates from the potato are made up through jasmine rice here instead. Would I rather eat 700 grams of potatoes? Yes. But for the shoot in mind, good volume in mind, a smaller and more calorie dense option and less volume option via the rice is a much better option in my opinion. Something I like to use with all clients as well, mainly because we want to keep that gut volume nice and small. So that is tip number, I believe that's tip number 4. Okay, so let's run with tip number 4. I'm going to get into this really, really hungry, have all my calls, and let's meet back for meal number 5. Okay, so we're in for meal number 5, the final meal of the day. That is going to be 375 grams of white potato, 50 grams of basmati rice or jasmine rice, 50 grams of veg and 150 grams of beef mince as well. Do you want to give them a look at what that looks like? That's going to be the other half of the meal that I ate earlier with 150 grams of 5% beef mince as well. Second part is going to be the bagel, which I have 30 grams of peanut butter as well. The final tip for your shoot and the day before your shoot is going to be to add fats into your final meal. Fats are going to help slow down digestion. Slow down here, George. Fats help slow down digestion. So we want to help hold and stick those carbohydrates and glycogen in the muscle tissue so we hold that round fullness
into tomorrow for the shoot itself. So I'll add in fats usually into the final meal. So the beef mince, a little bit more fat, and 30 grams of peanut butter, a little bit more fat, to help slow down and hold those carbohydrates overnight so I can utilize them and feel that fullness and pump the next morning.
One final point as well, guys, completely forgot to put up my final macronutrients for the day. And you'll see that these are a lot different than yesterday's macros. Carbs remain the same, protein is significantly lower, and fats have been high for all of the main tips and points that we've talked about today. So gonna finish this meal, get some rest, and see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, it is game day. Well rested, it's 5:30 a.m. I've just woken up a little bit earlier than what I usually would, but I was just a little bit excited and wanted to get up and at the day. Had my usual fluid intake, had my usual supplements. George is standing behind the camera here, who's looking to go on his walk. So we're going to do that. We're going to then go into meal one, have a shower, have a shave, get everything ready, and then have 3 calls this morning with clients. And then it's shoot time. So let's get at it.
So we are back and we're here for meal number 1. This is going to be the final meal of this dieting phase, which is crazy to say. So what this is going to be 170 grams of jasmine rice, 140 grams of chicken breast, and then 1 kiwi. Very easily digestible. I've tested out the rice yesterday. It was really, really good on the stomach. Chicken is a very plain, very easy digestible source for me as well. I've already tested that. 15 grams of nut butter on top then as well, which is something I've been using the whole entirety of this dieting phase. Kiwi I've been using all week as well, digestible, for a little bit of fiber, for some, gut release or some excretion and things like that as well. So really important that we have all those little bits and bobs in here. The time is 7:05, which is 3 hours prior to the start of my training session. Lots of time for this to digest. Lots of time for this to move through my body. Lots of time for me to actually start utilizing those carbohydrates in session as well, which is key. You don't want to be loading this in right before you go in to shoot, or it might just be sitting all in the stomach itself, okay? The final tip that I'm going to give you guys is to use sources that you have repeatedly used either all diet or all week. It's not the time now to have loads of burgers and chips and pizza or carb up, or just order Domino's or something like that. That might work, but I would only advise using it if you've used it the whole way through your diet or the whole way through your peak week. These sources are ones that I've tried and tested. They digest very, very well. I enjoy them. I know that they work really well for me because I've tested them all week. So I know going into shoot day then that this is going to work. It's an unbeaten plan. It's something that's worked all week for me. Why not use it again? So try not to use all the gimmicks and gummy bears and all this kind of stuff. Stick to what you know, stick to simplicity, execute, and see the results.
Electrolytes, salt and low salt for me are going to be my main drivers of sodium and potassium. They remain identical per meal the whole way through peak week. 6 grinds of pink salt on every meal 4 times a day, so 24 grinds, and a shake or sprinkle, same every time, of low salt on every meal 4 times per day as well. That remains identical. Fluid is about 5 liters per day, consistent the whole way through. I don't like to touch this, there's just so much variance, and if you pull water, you lose fullness, and there's lots of things that can go wrong. Repeatability is something I love in a peak week. The same foods, the same water, the same sodium, the same meal time, the same everything you possibly can, and you're likely to have a really repeatable look on the day. So, productive morning in the books. After meal 1, 3 client calls, a couple of check-ins, and we're ready to rock. So we're going to run with our absolute usual routine, non-stimulant pre-workout with 3 grinds of pink salt and sprinkle of low salt. Why? Because I've done that every single session for the whole diet and probably for the last 2 years in a row. Repeatable, consistency, end product will always be the same then, okay? So gonna drink this, never usually like drinking it, but let's get on the way and let's get cracking. So guys, we are en route to the gym, picked up a little double espresso. Feel like I need a little bit of a kick before we go in, probably why I was up at 5 a.m. this morning pretty much. So I just kind of had that moment of reflection. Sometimes goes, God, am I going to be tight enough? Am I going to have good midsection detail? Am I going to be well muscled enough? But this is why I love physique development, because in this moment right now, I can tell you guys, there's nothing else I could have done. There's nothing, no sessions I missed, no calories I missed for all of those weeks in a row. My peak week was as close to perfection as I possibly could have done.
My meals have been nailed yesterday. My hydration has been nailed yesterday. My recovery has been nailed yesterday. My meals this morning have been nailed today, excuse me. I've done everything I possibly could. And today, when I present my physique in the day, is going to be a report card of my previous couple of weeks. And I know I'm proud of the efforts that I've put in. I've done everything I possibly can. Now it's to just go and enjoy the moment, because I've done everything I possibly could have. And let's just see what happens. Okay, so we made it into the gym in for an upper body session. This is going to be almost in between a deep volume and a full upper session. We're going to probably hit about 4 working sets per muscle group, hard, good contractions. I'm a big believer in no kind of fluff work, no kind of easy sets. I always believe that the best look and the best pumps are always going to be through the hard sets. You always look your best after you've trained all the way to true failure. So about 4 working sets per muscle group, 60 to 70 minutes. Irmo just behind the camera walked into the gym as well, and we're going to get some really nice shots at the end. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll catch you guys in the session. Back. See a wild photographer in fantastic shape. Let's go. Nice, Irmo. You've seen this many times before. Just sticking to all the exercises I've done for months on end. Nothing new today, no silly injuries, nothing else like that. Quality sets. Okay, come on. Oh. Oh, okay. That's good, that's good. Woo. As discussed with Irmo, into the old reliable. Nautilus press, heavy in both length and shortened, mainly shortened, but final press and pec exercise of the day. Let's get it. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah. So, final sets of this phase before we go upstairs and get some nice snaps. Ab crunch, supersetted with an ab mat as well. Oh, fuck. There's no easy way to get out of that. Okay guys, so we made it to the posing room finally. We're going to get Irmo's just in front of us here. We're going to take some nice physique shots. I'm probably not going to wear this just for the case of the images, but I'll have it on the side and hopefully you can pick up a little bit of audio as well. Nice. So guys, we are back home from the shoot. What a day, what a morning. We're so happy with the images. Really good session, and catch up with Irma, one of my good friends as well, which is brilliant, great. We really push each other. The images are fantastic. I was so happy with the physique on the day, and one of the lads in the gym actually said that's your best ever look, which is amazing considering, you know, not training upper body for 4 months with my disc injury. Really happy, just really proud and a bit fulfilled after that. You know, it's been a tough year for me training wise, with the injuries and things, so I was very happy with the physique we produced on the day. Hopefully if I have any at this stage, I'll be able to pop a couple up on screen right now, and if I'm not, then make sure you follow me on Josh Count Conditioning. You'll be able to see me post them up there as well.
A huge thank you to everyone who's viewed one video or all of them in this dieting phase, or any as a whole. Anyone who's liked a video, commented on a video, all the support, really, really appreciate it. If you guys aren't following the channel, make sure you do so. If you haven't liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up as well. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks now, we'll be able to get back to some good quality clips. I'm flying tomorrow morning. So that's going to be me for another 2-3 weeks or so, but looking forward to getting back to these as like regular videos and all that kind of stuff. All the best, guys, and chat soon.